why it is so hard to change. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Oh, that's my new intro. What do you think? I did it all by myself. Levels are a little off, so sorry if you have to turn it up a little bit more this week. Tried to work on the levels. Tech, not my strong suit. I am better in other areas, but for now, I think it's okay. What do you think? Do you like it? Me introducing me. Oh, how droll. Well, welcome to the Hopefulist, and thank you so much for joining me. We're going to start out, as always, with the quote of the day. I had posted this on social media last week, so if you missed it, this is a great quote. There's a great line from the poet Ani Nin that reads, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Yes, and that's what we're going to talk about today, how hard it is to change, because change is extremely, extremely difficult. I tried something yesterday for the first time, and it didn't start out that way, but as the day went on, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm introducing social media free Sundays. No social media on Sundays. I have to tell you, it's a little disconcerting at first. You feel a little bit like you're out of the loop, like you can't communicate with people. You don't know what's going on in people's lives. But you know what? It's one day a week. And it's a day where you can just unplug and do your own thing. I spent the day reading my book. I finished a book. I started a new book, hung out with my husband. We had a rainy, dreary day here yesterday, so just kind of hung on the couch and didn't really do much. And first thing in the morning, I did check Facebook. I was on probably not even 5 minutes before the idea sprouted for me to just give up social media for the day, and I kind of liked it. Now, I did jump on first thing this morning because I felt like I was missing out, and it, not only for me, but for people who I are in contact with probably were like, well, I posted something and Wendy didn't like it. That's because I wasn't on. I'm not ignoring you. I just wasn't on. And that's okay. We all need a little bit of a break. Once in a while, I think once a week is a great idea, and maybe that will expand into more days of the week. And honestly, if the only time people are keeping in touch with you is through social media, then maybe that's not the relationship that you really think that it is. If somebody's going to get mad at you for not commenting or liking something that you've posted, and, one time a week, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I do have people in my life that kind of depend on social media as their main form of communication, and I have told them, no, that is not how you communicate with people. That is not a relationship. That is a social media relationship, and we all know the difference between Facebook friends and friends, right? I have Facebook friends I've never even met before. I didn't used to do that. I do that now with the Hopefulist and all to, and I'm in all these groups now where people try to, likes for likes and all of that kind of stuff. And sometimes I stick with those people. Sometimes I don't. But I have expanded my Facebook friend and family more so than I used to. I used to only accept friendships from people that I actually knew. And that's no longer the case. So like I said, the Facebook friends, we all know what they really are. They're not really friends. They're just people that we hope will see stuff that we're posting on social media. So if you have something to communicate with somebody, you reach out to them personally. For example, when I got on this morning, I saw that my sister had posted something about her daughter had left after visiting for a couple of days with some of her friends from college, went back to college, and she had talked to me about that already. So although I hadn't noticed it on social media because I wasn't on, I didn't respond to her post, I still knew what was going on because we chat, usually daily, via text, what have you. So don't worry about missing out. One of the other things that was a little disconcerting for me is I had wanted to get on to the pickleball group to see if anybody was playing today. And then I realized the weather is not going to be really great for it. It's 20-mile-per-hour winds today, which is a tad too windy for pickleball. But I did at one point want to jump on and just check that group to see if anybody had plans to play. And I was like, nope, I can do it in the morning. I also made plans to go away next weekend, overnight. My husband and I going to see the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C. So excited about this. I have not been to the Cherry Blossom Festival since I was 12 years old. And I have been wanting to get back ever since. And in the last couple of years, I've really been wanting to go back. And there's something every year that stops me, or I just don't get around to it. And the next thing I know, it's all over. The blooms are done. And even my husband has joked, he's like, yeah, every year I see that you say that you're interested in the Cherry Blossom Festival on Facebook. You know, you hit the like thing. And we never go. This year we're going. So I wanted to jump on real quick to Facebook to let my cousin know, who lives in Virginia, that we are indeed coming down. And once again, I had to stop myself. I'm like, nope, social media free Sunday. And I reminded myself that I could let her know this morning, which I did. So it's all good. If you haven't tried it in a while, just try it. Hashtag social media free Sunday. It's a thing. I just started it. How about that? I want to talk a little bit about something I was grateful for this week. Went down in the gratitude journal. Oh, over the weekend we had such amazing weather. It was 70-some degrees here on Friday. 70-some degrees in March at the Jersey Shore. Craziness, I tell you, craziness. I sat outside with a book, with the sun beating on my face. I even got a little color. I did use sunblock. I am a very sun-safe girl. Always have my sunblock on. Still got a little bit of color, though. Because that's what people don't realize about sunblock. You still get color. You just don't get burned. So always wear your sunblock. And then a friend came over a little later, joined me for an adult beverage. We had a wonderful time. And the next day was not as warm, not as great, but still pretty darn great. So you got to take these when they come along and just enjoy them to the fullest. The topic for today, why? Why is it so hard to change? Well, because we are very loyal to the narratives we have about ourselves. The main reason it took me so long to change from negative to positives because I refused to do the things suggested in the many books I read. I just didn't want to do them. I was too cool to do affirmations, too lazy to put any real thought into a gratitude practice, too afraid of my own feelings to write down my goals and dreams and actually work toward them. It wasn't until I read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero when she said, that is, yes, you will feel silly and uncomfortable doing this stuff at first, but so what? Just try it. And if you find it's not for you, then go back to your crappy life. Seems silly not to try after that challenge, huh? So I did. I tried. I went in full force. I did it all. And everything changed. But why do we hold on to our beliefs so hard? Why does it feel so impossible to make real changes in our lives? I actually have an answer. Because our brain and ego are there in an attempt to protect us from the unknown. Even when we are unhappy in life, we know there is an expectation of what to come. And our brain does everything it can to keep things status quo, because that is usually what is best for our survival. But there is a big difference between living for survival and living fulfilled. Am I right? The goal is not to get safely to death. The goal is to live the best possible life we can. And I can tell you this. Once I finally got over myself and tried all the things that were suggested I do for a better, happier life, yes, everything changed. And I will never go back to that old crappy life. And I'm pretty sure you won't either. I'm reading a book right now called How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera. Now, she's the holistic psychologist. You've heard me mention her. Follow her on Instagram. Really, I mean it. Go do it now. Follow her. In the book, she talks about how the brain and ego and how they are constantly working with the main goal of keeping us safe. She says, the ego works to keep us living within familiar narratives because, though often painful, they are predictable. The predictable, as we know, feels safer than the uncertainty of the unknown. So in essence, we are expecting different results by doing the same things over and over. And we all know that is the definition of insanity. If we want a different life, we have to get over our fear and do different things. She goes on to say our ego is staunchly attached to its opinions and believes we are our opinions. The ego interprets any disagreement or criticism as a direct threat to our very existence. This right here is why it is so hard to let go of what we think about ourselves and break out of those habits and routines that aren't serving us. Not only is it difficult to break out of our old patterns, it's really brave. We are daring to believe we can be better than we currently are and are willing to do what it takes, including our brain and ego screaming at us to stop in order to live a better, more fulfilled life. It's been said over and over again how hard change is. Now we can see that even our own brain is literally working against us to stop us from improving our lives out of fear and of the unknown. Once you start breaking out of those old habits, you will see how different and how wonderful life can truly be on a regular basis, not just on holidays or special occasions, every damn day. Start with that gratitude practice, 3 to 5 things written down every day that you are grateful for from the past 24 hours. Then work on those affirmations, write them down, read it if it makes you feel more comfortable, but do them. Write down your goals and dreams and map out a plan to get yourself there. Don't settle for a life less than you are capable of. Fear can feel very real. And let's all face it. It has stopped you in the past, but not anymore. Because now we know it is just our ego trying to protect us. Now we know we can move forward with the knowledge that we can go through some minor discomfort in order to achieve a much greater life. Follow Jen Sincero's words like I did. Just try. If you find you don't like it, then go back to your crappy life. But it's worth a shot, right? If I hadn't tried, I certainly wouldn't be the hopefulist today. I'd still be the hopeless. Sad but true. I don't want to see that happen to you. And the whole point of my doing this is to prove to everyone that after 40 plus years of pessimism, I am a happy girl every single day, living my best life and looking forward to each and every day. Doesn't that sound great? Isn't that what you want for yourself? Because this is what I want for you. So get ready to do the work. Your homework for this week is to get that gratitude journal started if you are not already doing it. Identify and write down the fears you have about changing the way you think about yourself. Start telling yourself that you can make all your dreams come true. And give yourself a high five in the mirror when you see one. You can do it, and you will actually start to look forward to it. Mark my words. Mark my words. If you like today's episode, please leave me a review or share my post on social media. I will be most grateful and put you down in my gratitude journal. Have a fantastic week. I'll be checking in with you on social media, and there may even be a giveaway this week. Stay tuned. Now, go on out there and be badass. I'm always here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.